Well, hello there. Welcome back to the channel. My name is James, and here at 20th and 21st Movies, we are about all things cinema. Well, it's the middle of October. It's an exciting time of the month here in this exciting time of the year. Halloween is very fastly approaching. It's going to be here in just over 2 weeks. This is Friday, October the 15th, as of the time that I'm recording this video, which means that we've just got the announcements from the Criterion Collection of the releases that they're going to be putting out on Blu-ray in January of 2022. So this is an exciting time of the month. We just got the Criterion Collection's releases for January 2022. They're putting out 5 releases on Blu-ray and 4K Ultra HD in the month of January. So these are going to be the first titles to come out from the Criterion Collection in 2022 in January, and it is a lot to be excited about. We've got 2 new directors who are going to be entering the Criterion Collection, and we're getting 2 of those 4K Ultra HD releases that were announced the other month. They're coming in the month of January. So 5 releases in total. So without any further ado, let's jump right into these Criterion Collection January 2022 titles. So the Criterion Collection is going to be releasing 5 releases in the month of January. You got 1 title coming out on Tuesday, January the 11th. You've got 2 titles coming out Tuesday, January the 18th. And you've got 2 more releases coming out on Tuesday, January the 25th. So the first release of 2022 for the Criterion Collection is coming out on Tuesday, January the 11th, and it is titled The Celebration. So this is a 1998 film from Thomas Vinterberg, a Danish director. And this is a really interesting and fascinating film that's coming out. And this is a film, again, from 1998. It's part of the Danish Dogme 95 movement. And essentially, this was a filmmaking movement that started in the mid-90s that directors Lars von Trier and Thomas Vinterberg started. And essentially, from what I read here is they were going back to traditional directing, acting, excluding a lot of the fancy special effects from filmmaking. So they were going back to a very simple, basic filmmaking techniques in this Dogme 95 movement. So this film, Celebration from 1998 from Thomas Vinterberg, is part of that Dogme 95 movement. So this is a really interesting title from the Criterion Collection, and I absolutely love the cover. The cover looks really interesting, and I'm still sort of processing what it looks like, but I really like the cover for this edition from the Criterion Collection of The Celebration. It just has a very neat and unique look to it that I really like. And so I'll read the description here. It says, the Danish Dogma 95 movement that struck world cinema like a thunderbolt began with The Celebration, the international breakthrough by Thomas Vinterberg, a lacerating chamber drama that uses the economic and aesthetic freedoms of digital video to achieve annihilating emotional intensity. On a wealthy man's 60th birthday, a sprawling group of family and friends convenes at his country estate for a celebration that soon spirals into bedlam as bombshell revelations threaten to tear away the veneer of bourgeois respectability and expose the traumas roiling beneath. The dynamic handheld camera work, grainy natural lighting, cacophonous diegetic sound, and raw performance style that would become Dogma hallmarks enhance the shattering visceral impact of this caustic indictment of patriarchal failings, which swings between blackest comedy and bleakest tragedy as it turns the sick soul of a family inside out. So this is a really fascinating title from Criterion that they're putting out to start out 2022. And I'm actually looking forward to this. I love the cover, like I just said, and this looks like a very interesting title. This is coming from Thomas Vinterberg. Of course, he's the director of the film Another Round, starring Mads Mikkelsen, that got some Oscar attention recently. And so this is definitely a title that I have on the radar. And as I look at the special features here, you're getting a 2K digital restoration. We're getting an audio commentary on here, which is very nice. There's also an uncompressed monaural soundtrack. You get a new interview with Vinterberg. We also get 2 early short films from the director from 93 and 95, Last Round and The Boy Who Walked Backwards. So I always love to see short films from the directors in their early part of their career, which is always fascinating to get a glimpse of their early work. Then you have a 2002 documentary called The Purified. You've got a program on Vinterberg. You've got some documentaries in here as well, and some deleted scenes in a trailer, and an essay from author Michael Koreski. So this edition celebration looks to be a very fascinating edition from Criterion, a very unique and different story as part of that Dogma 95 movement that Lars von Trier and Thomas Vinterberg initiated. And so this is one that I definitely have on the radar. It's the first title coming out from the Criterion Collection in 2022. It's coming out on Tuesday, January the 11th, The Celebration. All right, so next up on January the 18th, the Criterion Collection is releasing 2 editions on January the 18th, starting with a 2020 feature called Time. And this is from director Garrett Bradley. So this is the other new entrant into the Criterion Collection. So this will be Garrett Bradley's first film to enter the Criterion Collection. It's coming in at spine 1109 in the collection, and of course, as I forgot to mention, Celebration is coming in at spine number 1108. And this is basically about a woman's quest to free her incarcerated husband from the Louisiana penitentiary state system. So she's going through a whole lot of work over 20 years of a struggle to get her husband free from this prison system. It's basically a story of injustice and human dignity, and it's one that I've heard a lot about. It's gotten a lot of recognition, and actually Bradley won the Director Award in the U.S. documentary competition at the Sundance Film Festival. She was the first Black woman to win that award, so that is awesome. And this film was on Amazon Prime. So this is an Amazon Prime film, and it's coming in with a 4K digital master, a 5.1 surround DTS HD master audio. And this is really a fascinating entry into the Criterion Collection that I'm looking forward to seeing. So definitely a theme that I think is reminiscent of things that are going on in our world today, and it's definitely a title that I'm looking forward to. That's Time, and I'll read a little bit from the Criterion site. It says, "What does the weight of time's passage feel like for a family caught in the jaws of a brutal carceral system? Both a breathtaking cinematic love story and a bruising indictment of American injustice. The Academy Award nominated feature documentary debut of Garrett Bradley traces the decades-long quest of Sybil Fox Richardson, an indefatigable mother of 6 and a fiercely outspoken prison abolitionist, to free her husband from the Louisiana State Penitentiary, where he is serving a 60-year sentence for robbery. Gracefully interweaving 20 years worth of Richardson's own intimate home movies with luminously expressive monochrome footage of her present-day joys and struggles, Bradley crafts in Time a transcendently poetic, soul-shaking look at the devastating toll of mass incarceration and one family's extraordinary efforts to stay whole." So this is a very fascinating title from Criterion that's coming out in January 2022 about a very important social topic. And I am very excited about it. This is a director-approved special edition that's coming with some very nice features, including a 4K digital master of 5.1 surround DTS HD master audio on the Blu-ray. We got a new audio commentary with the director, Garrett Bradley. And you've got a few new interviews and conversations on here. And you've got a 2017 documentary called Alone, which is a short documentary by Bradley with an optional 2021 commentary by the film's subject, Alone Watts. And you've got a trailer, and you've got an essay by critic Doreen St. Felix. So this looks like a very fascinating addition from the Criterion Collection that's coming out in January that is definitely on my radar, and I'm very much looking forward to checking this one out. This is Time, and it's coming out on Tuesday, January the 18th. The next title coming out on Tuesday, January the 18th is a title that is currently in the Criterion Collection, but is one of those 4K Ultra HD upgrades that has been recently announced, and it is A Hard Day's Night. This is the 1964 film from Richard Lester. So this is coming out in a new 4K Ultra HD Blu-ray combo pack that's coming in January 2022. It's going to be an MSRP of $49.95, but you can get it on the Criterion site for I think $10 less than that. and it'll probably be less than that on Amazon. And when it comes time for the Barnes & Noble sale in July or the flash sale, that $49.95 MSRP will be available probably 50% off, so about $25. So that's the pricing information that we have available right now based on what I see on the Criterion site in terms of the MSRP, what we expect for the upcoming sales. So this is going to be an upgrade of spine number 711. It's a 4K Ultra HD Blu-ray combo pack. It's going to have Dolby Vision HDR. Now the thing to note about this title, Hard Day's Night, is similar to Mulholland Drive, similar to The Red Shoes. This is not going to include any new supplemental material. So the same supplements that's on the Blu-ray edition, and I have that Blu-ray edition, and it is a beautiful Digipack Blu-ray edition. The same supplements on that edition are being carried over to this new 4K Ultra HD combo pack. So really it comes down to how much of a visual upgrade are we going to get with this 4K Ultra HD Blu-ray with the Dolby Vision. I have a feeling it's going to be a really nice picture. It's just a matter of, is it enough of a difference from the Blu-ray to make it worth the purchase? And that, to me, is going to be the fundamental decision. I have a high level of confidence on the Red Shoes being a nice upgrade, given that that Blu-ray is from 2010. And I'm really looking forward to seeing what Dolby Vision HDR can do with those beautiful, rich Technicolor colors in that film, particularly the reds. I really think they're gonna pop with that new 4K disc and the Dolby Vision HDR. So I'm gonna be interested to see what the picture quality looks like on Hard Day's Night in that 4K Ultra HD and with that Dolby Vision. Is it enough of a pop to make it worth the purchase? So to be determined on that, but that is coming out on Tuesday, January the 18th, and it's A Hard Day's Night, Richard Lester. If you don't already have the edition, it's an absolute no-brainer to get it. It's just a matter of, if you already have the Blu-ray edition, is it worth the upgrade? So more to come on that. So next up, on January the 25th, we've got two more titles coming out. So we got one title coming out January the 11th. That was The Celebration. Two titles coming out January the 18th, Time and A Hard Day's Night. And then we're gonna wrap up the month of January with two more titles on Tuesday, January the 25th. And the first title coming out on January the 25th is from a director who already has an edition in the Criterion Collection. This will be her second entry into the collection, and that's director Kirsten Johnson. And this is the 2020 film, Dick Johnson is Dead. This is the director of Camera Person, and the story of this film is basically about Kirsten Johnson's father, Dick Johnson, who is dying of dementia, and her capturing his story and basically capturing the essence of his struggle with dementia and how her family's dealing with it, and just how difficult it is for her to lose her father. And I believe in Camera Person, she featured her mother in that film as well. And so it's very fascinating to see these works from this director. I found that to be a very interesting aspect of that film. And it looks like with Dick Johnson is Dead, a similar thing appears to be the case here. So I have not seen this film, but I'm very much looking forward to seeing it. It sounds like it's going to be a very, poignant, beautiful story from Johnson. And I'll actually read the description from the Criterion site. It says, this playful, profound, and immensely moving docu-fantasia by Kirsten Johnson is a valentine to the director's beloved father, Dick Johnson, made as she begun to face the reality of losing him to dementia. Using the language of cinema both to defy death and to confront it head on, Johnson mischievously envisions an array of ways in which the man she loves most in the world might die, staging a series of alternately darkly comic and colorfully imaginative tableaux interwoven with raw verite footage, capturing the pair's tender but increasingly fragile bond. Tackling taboo questions of aging, mortality, and grief with subversive humor and surprising grace, Dick Johnson is Dead is ultimately a triumphant celebration of life and of the gentle, funny, unforgettable man at its center. Long live Dick Johnson. So this really looks to be a really fascinating title. This title actually, if is on Netflix or was on Netflix. So this is a Netflix film that's coming to the Criterion Collection, similar to the Amazon Prime film Time from Garrett Bradley, also coming to Criterion. So this is another example of movies that were on streaming services that are coming to Criterion with some nice additions in the Criterion Collection. So this looks like a really interesting one from Kirsten Johnson that I'm looking forward to checking out. Dick Johnson is Dead is coming out on Criterion on Tuesday, January the 25th. All right, so the last title to come out in the month of January from the Criterion Collection is also coming out on Tuesday, January the 25th, and it is The Piano. It's the 1993 film from director Jane Campion. Jane Campion has a couple of other titles in the collection, including An Angel at My Table and Sweetie. And those are a couple of additions from the Criterion Collection that you might want to consider checking out as well. This is coming out as a 4K Ultra HD Blu-ray combo pack. So this is one of those 6 titles that was announced the other month. It's now coming out in the month of January, so a lot to be excited about. It's coming in at spine number 1110 in the Criterion Collection. And this is the film starring Holly Hunter, Anna Paquin, Harvey Keitel, and you've also got Sam Neill in this. This is a really, really nice film. I actually checked this film out from the library a few weeks ago on DVD, and it's a really interesting, fascinating film, and I'm looking forward to seeing this on a new 4K Ultra HD disc with Dolby Vision HDR. So I have a feeling that this is going to be a very beautiful, beautiful looking disc. There's a few special features on here. It's not really a stacked edition based on what I read on the site, but I'll read the special features here. We're getting a new 4K restored digital transfer supervised by Director of Photography Stuart Dryburgh and approved by Director Jane Campion. We're getting a 5.1 surround DTS HD master audio soundtrack. We're also getting the Dolby Vision HDR on the 4K Ultra HD disc, and the Blu-ray is going to have the film and the special features, so that's not uncommon. We get a couple of new interviews and conversations between Jane Campion and film critic Amy Taubin, and we also get a new interview with Dryburgh and production designer Andrew McAlpin. We have an interview with actor Holly Hunter on working with Campion, and then you get a feature on here called The Piano at 25, a program featuring a conversation between Campion and producer Jan Chapman. You also get a 2006 short film, Water Diary, by Campion, and an essay is included in the package by critic Carmen Gray. So not a stacked edition from the Criterion Collection, but there are a few nice features on the film. I think some of those features are from prior editions, but you do get a few new conversations and interviews. And ultimately, I'm looking forward to seeing what that 4K Ultra HD with Dolby Vision, I'm looking forward to seeing what that picture looks like, because I have a feeling that it's going to be a very beautiful disc indeed. So more to come on that. That is The Piano. It is one of the 4K Ultra HD titles that's been previously announced, and we now know that it's coming out on Tuesday, January the 25th. So there you have it. Those are the 5 titles that are coming out from the Criterion Collection in January of 2022. So to recap, on January the 11th, we're getting The Celebration by Thomas Vinterberg. January the 18th, we're getting 2 titles. We're getting Time by Garrett Bradley, and we're getting A Hard Day's Night by Richard Lester. On January the 25th, we're getting 2 more titles, including Dick Johnson is Dead by director Kirsten Johnson, and we're also getting The Piano by Jane Campion. So the month of January looks to be a pretty full month from Criterion, and at this point, we now know when all of those first 6 announced 4K Ultra HD editions are coming out. So now it's a matter of what additional 4K titles are coming out in 2022, what additional Blu-ray titles are coming out. So there's a lot to be excited about for Criterion. I think January is a very nice start to the year for 2022, and I can't wait to see what else they have in store for us for the rest of the year. So let me know in the comments below what you think about these announcements from Criterion in the month of January 2022. Let me know which titles you are most looking forward to picking up. Which titles are you most excited about? Let me know that in the comments below. Also, let me know what titles you are most looking forward to picking up in the upcoming sales, whether it be the flash sale coming up, I believe this month in October, or the November Barnes & Noble Amazon sales. Let me know that in the comments below. As always, thanks for watching, and we'll look forward to seeing you next time in the movies. Peace.